we are ready to convene our study session.
Thank you, Mayor. Hey, we're going to start off with Sharon Euler. She's going to be here to present an overview of the programs and services offered in the community by the University of Missouri Extension.
Good evening.
Hi, Sharon.
Thank you for making it warm up to a balmy 17 degrees. I appreciate that. It makes it easier to get out. Most of you know me. I'm Sharon Euler. I am the Gladstone appointed member to the Clay County Extension Council. And I want to thank you for giving me the opportunity to come here today just to give you a brief overview. I also have with me G.K. Callahan, who I know some of you also know. He is the staff person for our region for Extension. So we have just a little short PowerPoint to share with you, if I can figure out the clicker. Okay, so Missouri Extension in a nutshell provides access to all citizens of the state of Missouri to university research and university resources. So it's an amazing program. And as some of you know, I'm a lawyer by profession, so I want to start out with the legal stuff. Extension was created as part of the same federal laws that created land-grant universities. And as you know, in Missouri, we have two land-grant universities, University of Missouri at Columbia and Lincoln University. And Extension was part of those federal acts. So for over 100 years, Extension has been providing services to the citizens of Missouri. So a question everybody always asks is, how is Extension funded? So we are supported by 3 different partners. The university provides a great deal of support. GK and our other staff members are university employees. The county provides us funding, which we really appreciate. And then we have a lot of partners, including partners like the City of Gladstone, and Maple Woods Community College is a big partner of ours, the library system, all sorts of facilities in and around Kansas City help support Extension by providing places for us to have classes, by providing funding, by providing resources. Programs in the Urban West, and Urban West is our region, and that's Clay County, Jackson County, and Platte County, include agriculture and environmental programs, which is what people normally think of when they think of Extension, land-grant colleges, agriculture. But we do a lot in the city to support urban agriculture, as well as gardens, all sorts of programs involving agronomy, livestock, and horticulture. We have a lot of business and community development programs, and we also have health and human science programs. One of the big programs that some of you may already be familiar with is 4-H, which provides leadership training for our youth up to age 18. And we have a pretty active 4-H in Clay County. We have a program that supports combat veterans and first responders called Community Development Veteran Reads. And it's a group that meets twice a month, and they are called Reads because they have a book they read from, but mostly they get together and talk and go out to eat, and they do service projects. It's a way to support folks who have given a lot to us. We have the Labor and Workforce Development Program, which provides a lot of resources to help with workforce. They would have track economic trends, population trends, all of those things. We have the Agriculture and Environment Program, which includes things like Master Gardener Program. We do soil testing for local gardeners and a number of other programs. We have a Small Business Development Center, which provides low-cost or no-cost resources for small businesses in our area. We support community arts. We have nutrition and health education programs. And many of you are familiar with Master Gardeners of Kansas City and the Master Naturalist Program. I provided a handout for you, and on this handout it indicates some things specifically that we do in Gladstone. We provide a lot of health, aging, and wellness programs such as Aging Mastery, A Matter of Balance, which is a course to help people as they age maintain their balance. We have community arts engagement programs. I know most of you are familiar with the Master Gardener's Garden at Atkins Farm, which is a great project for Gladstone. And we have a number, like I said, a very active 4-H program. So how can people be part of Extension? Come take a class. The QR code takes you to our website. We have tons of classes in all sorts of things. We always encourage people to share with other people that Extension exists and things we offer. We're always looking for volunteers, of course, to lead programs, teach classes, or serve on the council. And of course, donations are always accepted. GK, do you have anything?
Yeah, hi, GK Callahan again, University of Missouri Extension. I just want to say that these are your public tax dollars, or all of our public tax dollars, and not all the programs are completely free, but we want to make it to all our municipalities. You guys are great partners. We want your residents to take advantage of our offerings, and so we want you guys to know at the top that we have all of these services. We're here in your community. We're often told we're the best kept secret, and we don't want to be. So we're doing our best this year to make it to all of the municipalities in our region. I think it's like 53. It's a lot. So, you know, just you're one of our first on our list this year, and so thank you for your support, and know that we're here, okay? Thank you.
And just in closing, I just want to tell you it's been an honor to represent Gladstone on the Clay County Extension. We're working on a lot of interesting and fun projects. I was a 4-H kid growing up, so, so you know all about Extension. And one of the things that I've been trying to do is to get our 4-H kids more involved in some of the functioning part of the Extension Council, as well as the stuff that the kids do, because being a teenager is the time to learn about those things, you know, learn about how things work and how the university system works. So does anybody have any questions for me?
Questions? Cameron?
Sharon, thank you so much for going through the presentation. I myself was a 4-H kid as well.
Awesome.
And am a master gardener, inactive, and utilize the SBDC as well in my professional life. But how can we as a council and as a city kind of partner better with the extension and make sure we're utilizing those resources that are right at our back door?
Well, one of the ways that we're going to ask you again soon is to have representation on the council, any city over 10,000. Sharon is your representation. Her term's coming back up, so we're going to re-ask you here shortly, just so you know what's going on. So that's the easiest way to partner. To have us in, when you guys are doing things like economic development studies, when you're thinking about doing city planning, things like that, bringing Extension to the table, remembering we exist, those are really good ways to partner with us. You know, we're already actively involved with your Parks program and with your community center. And so that's where we're doing a lot of our programmings already. So we know a lot of your city staff, which is great. This is why Gladstone was an easy presentation for us, because it's a win. We're already here. So I hope that answered your question. Yeah, basically.
And if I could add to that, help us spread the word about Extension. Or if you know of any civic groups or community groups who you think might benefit from learning more about Extension, or might want to partner with us, or might want to support us, let me know or let GK know. We're happy to go out and talk to anybody to help educate them as about what Extension is, what we have to offer, or if somebody's looking for a service project, we can hook them up with all sorts of fun things to do.
Or if you need content for your newsletters that go out to residents, or your magazine that I think it's quarterly, right, that you put out to all the residents, that'd be a great place to plug Extension in. We already provide content in all kinds of local magazines, whether it's around gardening tips, health tips, how to stay safe during the winter, you know, fall less if you're older, things like that. So that would be a great avenue to add Extension in, that people can get visibility of our services.
Tell me a little bit about the Small Business Development Center. Who's that geared towards?
Yeah, so the Small Business Development Center is geared towards any entrepreneur. They have kind of an accordion of different services that they offer. They're based out of UMKC down on Troost. So they have everything from tech entrepreneurs to just, you have a jam business, a cottage business, and you want to grow it and start, you know, manufacturing that at a different level. Their classes usually run at a reduced rate. They're usually a small fee, so there's some skin in the game for the business owner to come, but it's about enhancing your business. It's about making your entrepreneurship into something that's viable, about adding growth. How many more employees can you have? How can you scale this? And all their services are offered on their website if you check them out. Yeah.
Great. Thank you, and don't go too far away, if you know what I mean.
All right. Thank you
Thanks,
so
guys.
much.
We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Nice to see you all.
Okay, sir.
All right, next up, we have Keenan Ewing, who is our IT manager, and Nikki Lansford, who is our communications specialist. They're going to give a presentation and provide an overview of the proposed redesign and the next steps of our website.
I'll start and then I'll. Thanks. So, to get us started here, me and Nikki have been working on this for a while, so we're excited to kind of get it in front of you and show you what we have. With recent support from the leadership team, we're really starting to see it come together, so we actually have information to share, whereas before, I think I teased it in my last two council presentations, like it's coming, it's coming, it's coming. Well, it's here. And we'll go over the timeline and you'll see that it's going to happen really quickly. So my role tonight probably is going to be just get council up to speed on where we are and how we got there, and then I'll hand it over to Nikki so that she can discuss the design things. So if you look at the image on the right, that is a screen cap of the website as it launched in 2015. If you looked at it today, it looks very similar. We're using the same stylings, we're using the same templates. So we look at this as a project where we can modernize the visuals of the website, but also improve the accessibility standards. And with that, the DOJ did mandate that, cities of our size become ADA compliant with our websites no later than April of next year. So we want to get ahead of it, especially if there's members of our communities that can't access our website or struggle navigating it. We certainly don't want to be behind on that one. And then resident experience, we just want to make it easier to find the resources that the city offers, and then maybe even spend extra time on the website so that they see stories and they see pictures and they want to engage with the city through the website that they can. Whereas now we've had the same format for over 10 years, and it's a little out of date. So the design process actually began in 2023, and we learned two things very quickly, Nikki and I. One, we simply weren't ready. We were very dependent on some of the internal tools that were built into the website, so we've kind of chipped away at that, and sometime in like the last year, we got to the point where like, okay, let's bring up the conversation again. And when we did, the second thing that we had learned in 2023 is that Revise stood out as a promising partner. So when we re-engaged in those conversations recently, they were the first ones that we went to. When we initiated this, we started looking at, our neighbors' websites, what are they using? We spoke with them, and then we started engaging on our own. During this process, we're evaluating usability, design, functionality. We did that by comparing products through demonstrations. Nikki and I sat through a number of them, and in fact, we're still sitting through them just to make sure we're checking all the boxes on this because it's a big deal. Revise, speaking of Revise here, they were selected as the best overall fit. This is something they specialize in. If you look at government websites, there's like 3 top dogs. This is one of them, and they offer terms that the other companies simply didn't. And if you look at their websites, if you look at Revise websites, there are similarities between different cities, but they're all unique and they all demonstrate like what a community actually is. So if you look at Kearney or Riverside or some of the bigger cities like Olympia, Washington, they're all unique to those communities, even if they use the same features. And then for the terms that I mentioned there, most of the cost is there in the first year. You're paying for development, you're paying for training, you're paying for that migration. And then you're looking at $4,200 a year, which includes a mobile application. So I'll let Nikki speak on that during her session because that's big too. And 6 months ago, I don't think a mobile app was even on our radar. Everything up till now is what we took to our assistant city manager, Austin, and he challenged us to take it a step forward with that mobile app. So we're excited to include that in this package. And then for the timeline, if we're able to stick to what we have here, we're able to get that kickoff meeting sometime in the next month, we're probably looking at a launch in July and August, somewhere between July and August. So that's what we're hoping for. Everything's come together pretty quickly, so I think we're prepared for it. This timeline, we don't expect there to be any variation in it, so we're excited with it. From there, it's all Nikki.
Thrilled to be here tonight because the cold killed my car battery this morning, and my first thought literally was, I have to present. But anyways, yes, to talk a bit about our design goals, we really want to modernize the website, give it that clean, professional look that you see on most city websites these days, and that really screams trusted local government. Like Keenan mentioned, one of the big pushes for this is to be within full compliance. intuitive navigation. So instead of those long pages where you have to go through, find the correct link, and then probably find another link, and then probably find another link, this will just be a homepage that will be accessible to the main things our residents will want to click on. So those pothole repairs or to pay your water bill, those will all be accessible through like the homes page. We also want to create a consistent experience across desktop and mobile. I'm sure, as you guys are aware, our mobile use of our website right now is not the best. It takes a while to find what you're looking for. So the hope is that it will work seamlessly across all devices. We also, not least important, but last, want to create a flexible foundation as we grow into the future. So with this, we'll actually have more capabilities to implement more tools. As Keenan mentioned, the mobile app, do a lot more than what we can do with our current website. As for regard to strategy, we want to prioritize clarity and ease of use. So again, we probably do what's called a long form scroll down page. So you'll find all your main links there. You'll also have a very simple page layout. So instead of the 8 stories we currently feature, we're probably going to reduce that down to something like 3, but it will be a lot easier because you'll be able to go back and find old stories and they won't delete like they do on our current homepage. It will also, again, really link to those high traffic service areas. So again, water bill payments, anything that our residents really need to use on a daily basis or what they're visiting our website most commonly for, we want to give them easy access to those. We want to, again, limit that content and visual clutter. So instead of having the main piece of the story on the homepage, we'd probably be able to link to separate pages if people want to really go in and read more information about it. And then, again, just remain consistent across website and mobile app. And here's an idea of what the websites will kind of look like. So these 3 cities currently use Revise. They have a form of templates that we'll be able to choose from, but they're all pretty standard, usually a main image, and then scroll down to your key features, and then that top drop-down bar that will give you a lot of features as well. Again, access, like one-click access to your main tools. News and events will be limited, and our real exciting hope is to have like those pop-up banners at the top that say, hey, Lennon Square opens, or maybe even just a go out and vote, or anything that's a nice notification that doesn't come across as like an Everbridge system where it's more for like emergencies and instead just keeps that reminder of, you know, to those people that aren't going to go digging for the information, here's our big up and coming things or something to keep in mind. And what's really exciting is we're really going to prioritize photography over stock images, or as much as I love to create my graphics, I will back down in order to get some really cool photography up there. And that's, again, just going to create a really cool, sleek, modern design. And honestly, we're talking about getting a potential photographer to come out with maybe a drone, get some really cool video shots that could even play on the homepage. We're still in the early stages of that, but I think it's going to look really cool by the time it's done. And then, as Keenan teased, our mobile application, Assistant City Manager Austin Greer did say, this is great, but what if we made it better? And I wholeheartedly agree. So it would run similar in theory to the 311 app from Kansas City, if you know how that works. So it might not have all capabilities, but again, it will have those primary capabilities that probably, for whatever reason, a resident's using a mobile app with us will use it for. So those report potholes, water payments, all that kind of stuff is what in theory, we'll use. And probably our biggest events and probably our calendars. They also, with Revise, the app increase is only $3,500 to get the app, which was significantly better than other mobile apps programs that we invested, and then only $1,000 extra annually to keep it run. So all in all, the total cost we see is worth it to give us like that edge that most local smaller municipalities do not have. And then also it will help us to put out push notifications on people's phones. So those little notifications at the top, that's another way we're really hoping to reach more residents and be able to use a system other than Everbridge so it's not coming across as, oh, this is an alert. No, this will be exciting. Again, we talked about events or maybe even elections, just all that kind of stuff that could really be fun little pop-up notifications that if people don't want them, they can quickly exit them or say we don't want them. But for those residents that really want to get involved, I think it's going to be a great way to connect them to our city a little bit more. And then here's just a couple examples of all these cities that use Revise. As I think we said in the presentation, there's over like 3,300 of them, so this is by no means the only ones, but some good links to click on, see which ones you like, see, what we have to look forward to. And I think that's it for us. Any questions? I'm happy to answer. Or Keenan.
Sure.
Thanks, Nikki. Thank you, Keenan. Great presentation. How will this website interface with the Parks and Recreation
The
software?
registration page,
Yeah.
that would probably be a question.
Sportsman, the activity registration, that'll remain the same. Community Center, Parks and Rec will have their own web pages on Revise. We'll just link, when you go to register for youth activities or sports, you'll still go through that.
I imagine, though, that it will be easier to link out to.
Yeah, because it's not now. So
Exactly.
that's what I was sort of concerned about. It was always hard to try to find, where am I going to sign up for basketball or whatever like that.
And we
So,
can definitely note that with, when we start meeting with the programmers and say it's an important thing that we can't change the system, but we'd like to make it a little bit more intuitive.
So thank you for all the work and research that both of you have done on this.
Sure.
Just a quick question. Is there any way that we can get, director or staff bios included on the website? It's just one thing that, Manager Bob Bear and I were talking about, several months ago, is just obviously our staff is our biggest asset here at the city. And we have some very, very well-qualified individuals working day in and day out to keep the city safe. And the public always isn't aware of that, especially, all the accreditations and knowledge and skills that everyone here has. Is that something that we can include on the website?
Yeah, I believe there's no reason we couldn't be able to include something like that.
Sure.
One quick question. Did Revise advise us differently on the app and steer us and say that, newer municipalities are not going forward with apps these days?
I mean, we've received no pushback by any means from them. I think it's uncommon for a municipality our size to have an app like this. And with some of the other systems we did interview, the cost that they wanted for them, to be quite frank, was not worth it. But with how, I don't want to say minimal, because nothing's minimal, obviously, but comparative-wise, I think we felt this was worth the money.
The reason I bring it up is in the industries that I'm versed in every day is, apps are going away just
Sure.
because people are downloading and tired of downloading. So it makes more emphasis to put it on the mobile website, right? And that piece. Now, the piece that I do not know and we would want to understand is the push notification piece, because I think there's power to that.
Sure.
So it would be worth a question back to them and say, if we had a mobile app that is enhanced and you can download the app and had as a placeholder as basically a downloaded app, but it's a dummy app to bring you to the website, if we could push notifications, it might be more worth it than an app that's going to be archaic before we really launch it.
It is my understanding we can do push notifications through the app, but the,
Not through the app, I'm
or sorry,
through
through the website, yeah, we,
Okay.
but I will double check and report back to you for sure.
It'd be just interesting to see what other cities are doing these days. I just see a lot of people going away from apps rather than making apps. So
For sure.
It could be just because they're trying to peddle apps, but at the National League of Cities Conference, there was quite a bit of excitement around cities having their own apps. So I don't know, like I said, could be somebody trying to push it, but you could be right. So it's worth the question.
I will definitely look into it.
what's our, excuse me, what's the maintenance involved with this? Yearly, quarterly, daily? We have an issue, you can call and get some assistance with maintenance. Do we have a contract on that, or what's?
And the terms that they offered were unique. They do have 24/7 support, but also the CMS, or the content management system, is a huge improvement on what we have now. So it'll be easier for staff to get in there and add stuff like, profiles for each council member. And then the terms, we're also locked into a 5-year, fixed term. So each year we're paying the same amount for the support, whereas other vendors, we were saying, okay, we're going to charge you this, but next year it'll be 5%.
but we do get access to the WordPress admin side that we can
Yes.
get back in.
And then there was, after the 5-year mark, we do have complete authority to redo the whole design if we wanted to. So if for whatever reason we didn't like how it came out the first try, we can go at it again.
Thank you. We will convene our regular council meeting at 7:30. Thank you. January 26, 2026 Gladstone City Council meeting. Madam Clerk, please note all council members in a short second will be present. If you all would please stand and join us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Carla Gladstone will be presenting the colors. Thank you. Carla is from VFW Post 10906. And before you get too far away, Carla, I want to say thank you because you all usually come in and go right back out, and we really do appreciate it when you come see us. So thank you. Okay, well, we'll look forward to the next 10 or 20. Thank you. Item 4 is approval of the agenda. Is there any changes, additions to the agenda? Hearing none, it shall stand approved. Item 5 is approval of the January 12, 2026 closed city council meeting minutes.
Mayor Smith,
Mayor Pro Tem Moore.
I move for the approval of the January 12, 2026 closed city council meeting minutes.
Second?
Motion is second. Any discussion? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Item 6 is approval of the January 12, 2026 regular city council meeting minutes.
Mr. Mayor,
Councilman Nave.
I move to approve the January 12th, 2026 regular city council meeting minutes.
Second?
Motion is second. Is there any discussion? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Thank you. Next item is communications from the audience. Members of the public are invited to speak about any topic not listed on tonight's agenda. While speaking, please state your name and address for the record and limit your comments to 5 minutes. Do we have any takers? Yes, sir.
Evening. Sorry, it's cold outside, so I'm not dressed up. My name is Daniel Fowler. I live at 6917 North Troost up here. And I come with an ask, but I want to preface it by saying a huge thank you to the crews that were out all weekend clearing snow, making the streets safe for us. Also, a big thank you to the people at the community center that do clear the sidewalks and the people that clear around the municipal buildings. I have a kid that's she's now going to Antioch, but she used to have to walk from my house all the way to the NIC building here for school. Now I have a younger kid that they have to walk from my house all the way over to the NIC building over here for school. And so being the dad that I am, every time that there is a appreciable amount of snow, I make sure that not only is my sidewalk clear, but also my neighbor's sidewalks are clear, and all the sidewalks are clear from my house all the way over to the NIC. North Kansas City School is really good about clearing their stuff. The new General Mills people, they cleared their stuff as well. The apartment complex over here is really good about clearing. Now we have a nice pedestrian crossing on 69th Street that's right there between the North Kansas City School building property and the apartment complex. The one place where I don't see the city doing what I feel like the city should be doing is Central Park. Every time it snows, they clear around the community center, but they stop there. And there's many times when they've cleared around the community center, but they haven't even cut off the curbs to be able to cross the streets. So if you'll notice, when you leave today, you can drive up 69th Street there, and from North Campbell down to where the parking lot entrance is, there's a little 18-inch wide strip. That was me cutting that out so my kids don't have to walk in the snow or choose to walk in the street. For the last 7 years, every time it snows, there's been a little bitty strip. That's been me that's done it every time. And I just ask that the city take responsibility for that land, which I assume is the city's land that Central Park is on, and make sure that they can set a good example for the rest of the neighborhood by making sure that the sidewalk is clear.
Great.
Thank you much.
Bob, can you pass that along for us, please?
We can make that happen.
I bet you can. Thank you. Anyone else this evening? Next item will be we're going to start communications from the city council with some fun item, which is the mayor's Christmas tree check presentation. And let's start with, Art, I'm going to make you wait. Let's start with Mr. Larry Gardner, who's the chairman of North Lane Christmas Store. Honored to present you with a check for the mayor's Christmas tree fund, $7,649.30. it's just a wonderful thing. And I know virtually everyone in this room donated to the mayor's Christmas tree fund. And, it's so appreciated. And I want to thank all of you for making this year's drive successful. Appreciate you so much. Next item is, let's see, Councilman Nave.
Oh, thank you, Mayor. It's been an exciting start to the year. We had our first Parks, Rec, and Cultural Arts Advisory Board meeting of the year just last week, where we are excited to welcome 4 new members to the advisory board, as well as 2 new staff members. So super exciting times. And then would also just like to give a big shout out to Michael Engelman. He recently stepped down as chair of the Gladstone Area Chamber of Commerce after serving for 5 years. And we're super excited to welcome Christian Williams of The Grove.
Great. Councilman Davis.
Yeah, Mayor, the only thing I'd like to say is hopefully everyone's staying warm, and Tim, thank you for your team and everybody's team on that. I remember looking out the window, we had a little fun conversation that Blizzard of Oz took care of my street this year, which was exciting. But no, it's exciting to see, everywhere you're in Gladstone, and the second you get out of Gladstone, the difference it is. And it is a very real thing. So we just want to appreciate the team.
Well, the story is don't leave Gladstone.
Touche.
There you go. Councilman Spallo.
I really don't have
Member
much
Spallo.
to say this evening, other than the great Laplowski, the big Laplowski and Fleetwood Mac serviced my street this past weekend, and it just brought me so much joy. I'm serious, it did. I'm trapped in my home, and I'm looking out the window, and I'm like, oh, there's Fleetwood Mac. It was awesome.
Pretty
Thank
cool.
you.
Mayor Pro Tem Moore.
Thank you, Mayor. First of all, just kudos for such a successful Mayor's Christmas tree. Having been on the other side of that for several times, I know it's a big, big, big job, and so kudos. That's a lot of money to raise, so very good job. I also had the opportunity to attend the Planning Commission last week. The commissioners had some really good conversation about short-term rentals, and so we will be seeing that before us shortly, but they had really good conversation, really some good points that they made, so we're looking forward to that.
Good. Thank you.
Thank you.
I really don't have anything to add other than I can't for the life of me remember what the name of was our snowplow. We had a very nice reception for Pete Hall, who passed away the other day, and thanks to all of you here who were able to attend. I think the family was very pleased with the way that went. And we're sure going to miss Pete in many, many ways. Bob Barrett, communications from the city manager.
Thank you, Mayor. Just a couple things I want to reiterate. The appreciation that we have for Public Works and the Parks crew for the work that they did during the storm. I also don't want to forget the police officers and the firefighter paramedics that have to get out in this. And I spent many a midnights in the very cold and snowy conditions, and that's no fun. And it's also hard to keep the pumps from freezing and the fire trucks and trying to keep patients warm as you're trying to transport them out. So hats off to those guys for everything they did too. And I was serviced by the big Laplowski as well. So yeah, that's all. Thank you.
Thank you. Item 10 is the consent agenda. Madam Clerk, will you please explain and read the consent agenda?
A consent agenda allows the city council to consider and approve routine items of business without discussion. Any member of the city council, the city staff, or the public may request removal of any item from the consent agenda and request that it be considered under the regular agenda if discussion or debate of the item is desired. Items not removed from the consent agenda will stand approved upon motion by any council member, second unanimous vote, to approve the consent agenda as published or modified. Consent agenda, Resolution R-26-03, a resolution authorizing acceptance of a proposal from Molly Chevrolet for the purchase of a 2025 Chevrolet Silverado 3500 HD four-wheel drive crew cab service truck with utility bed in the total amount of $66,461. Resolution R-26-04, a resolution authorizing the city manager to execute a time and materials contract with Embassy Landscape Group for city landscaping services in an amount not to exceed $72,100. Acknowledge receipt of the fiscal year 26-27 budget of Downtown Linden Community Improvement District and Linden Block 25 Community Improvement District.
Thank you. Is there anyone in the audience, staff, or council like to have an item removed for discussion? Seeing none, I'd entertain a motion.
Mayor Smith.
Councilman Davis.
I move to approve the consent agenda as printed.
Second.
A motion and a second. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Just for the record, it was the Big Leplowski was cited in our neighborhood.
Yeah, but
Item 11 is resolution number R-26-05, a resolution authorizing the city manager to execute a contract with Weber's Tree Service LLC for the mowing of certain city parks and facilities in the amount of $3,580 per mowing cycle, not to exceed $128,880.
Mayor Smith,
Councilmember Spallo.
I move for the approval of resolution number R-26-05.
Second?
Motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Resolution has been adopted. Item 12 is Resolution R-26-06, a resolution authorizing change order number 4 in the amount of $211,058 to the contract with Fleshman Construction Incorporated for the Northeast 76th Terrace Storm Drainage and Parking Improvements Project CP2531.
Mayor Smith.
Mayor Pro Tem Moore.
I move for the adoption of resolution R-26-06.
Second?
Motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Resolution has been adopted. Is there any other business to come before us this evening? We stand adjourned. Thank you. I'm envious of you. You can't see the snow cloud that gets on your street. I'd like to not be able to see the street. Come on.
Now we can go home, Chris.
They have the best lot in Gladstone.
Yeah.
I know, Trent.
We're gonna do a luncheon for all our crews at work.